Hello everybody, this is Felix and I am back with some AI, the Somnium File, NirvanA Initiative. It's been a while since I've played anything AI, at least 1 or 2 years I'd say. And that was partially because I wanted to play this game on my own time initially, so that I could experience it without being distracted by chat and everything. But it just never came off it. I was always distracted or had something else to play or was busy with something else. But then in the Nintendo Direct I saw that a third one is coming out. And I thought to myself, damn, the third one is already coming out and I haven't played the second one yet? I gotta get on that, so here we are. I am really looking forward to playing this game though, because the first one was my, I won't say favorite game, but one of my favorites, and it's kind of annoying how the first one is just called AI the Somnium File, and then this one is called AI Somnium File NirvanA Initiative, because it kind of makes it hard to differentiate them. I can't just call one AI, because then I could be talking about both. But yeah, seeing that someone comes, and here you are indeed. I am indeed. How are you doing today, Hermit? Any news that I should know about? Yeah, I'm excited to play this thing and see how it stacks up with the previous game and why... Why is my controller not working? Technically at work. Why technically? Okay, for whatever reason my controller decided not to work. Does that mean that if I ever opt out of the game that my controller will stop working? That's terrible. That's absolutely terrible. And oh, you work from home. And well, what kind of work do you do then? Most people work from home right now, right? After the whole COVID situation. Most people just figured out, hey, working from home is infinitely better. Oh, freelance writing, really? What kind of things do you write? That's actually really cool. I try to write a bit myself in my spare time. Won't say I'm any good, but still enjoy it. Guess we're just using keyboard, mouse and keyboard, which I'm not a super fan of, but we're just gonna have to deal with it. There we go, that's better. SEO articles, news pieces based around a certain topic, whatever the editor gives me for the day. Damn, that's really cool. That is really cool. We're gonna go new game. If I remember correctly, I did play this game for about an hour when it initially came out, but I didn't go any deeper because I didn't want to spoil myself with anything, so we're just gonna go with new game. Are you aware of the first game, by the way, Hermit? I'm not sure if you were one of the people that was around when I played the first game. Warning, pre-existing autosave date will be overwritten and a new game will be started, proceed. Okay, so I was half expecting my previous save not to be there. It basically pays peanuts, but it's better than stressing out too much or dealing with traffic. Yeah, I get that. I used to do a little bit of freelance work myself as well. Didn't pay much, but you know, it allows you to have a stressor-free life. I also have a friend who, while doesn't do freelance stuff, he has part-time jobs that, well, not part-time. Is it part-time? He has jobs, but he has a job for like 20 hours a week, or had a job for about 20 hours a week that allowed him to spend most of his time just chilling and doing what he wants while just barely being able to like pay his bills and stuff, which he chose to live that life mainly because he prioritized his own free time above making money, and I can respect that. But yeah, cool that you do that. Must be pretty good at the whole writing thing if you're able to do it. Do you write in English or do you write in your own native language? Because I'm fairly sure that you are not an American or a Englishman or a Scottishman or a Irelandman. I don't know Irish. It's called Irish. Or a Wales. I don't know what Wales English, but it's freelance, so the stability is nebulous. That's true. The worst thing for freelance with me was that people constantly expected me to do more than I initially signed up for, which I would do it. I would ask for more money, but still. Yeah, let's just get rid of that. Play in English. Is this Japanese? Is this language Japanese? And I imagine that this one will be Chinese. We'll play in English though. Only one I can speak. Well, 1 out of 2/2.5 languages I can speak. Start game with text language. Sure, I don't know what that is. Oh, hello. Select difficulty. I do actually like that they have a difference in difficulty between what I imagine are the investigation segments and the Somnium segments. That's actually pretty good. So you have basically a difference between story and puzzle. Every puzzle game should have this. I'm imagining that for players who want to focus on the story, time limit, X3, button mash. Well, I forgot about, oh my god, the button mashing. I forgot about that. That's gonna be so difficult for me with mouse and keyboard. Oh, that's gonna be so difficult. I got Dustland Delivery over on Steam, since it was on sale. Dustland Delivery. Did you talk about that? I might have not remembered. Dustland Delivery. Oh! Oh, I think I remember that one. Yeah, it's 40% on sale, yeah. What kind of game is it again? Simulation, RPG, strategy, survival, adventure. Yeah, not really something I would play personally, but seems alright. It's Oregon Trail meets Fallout. Okay, that could be pretty fun. I've always been a fan of the Fallout aesthetic. Even though the Fallout games have been a little mediocre, in my opinion, for a while now. I was gonna say recently, but when was the last time a Fallout game came out? Fallout 4, and that's been a while since that came out. To be fair, I've never thought that Fallout 3 or New Vegas were all that better than Fallout 4. They are better, obviously, but all the Fallout games... Oh, I guess, yeah, I totally forgot about 76. It just genuinely did not... Like, it was just genuinely erased from my brain. I've never played 76, though. I just did not care about Fallout MMO. Yeah. What was the last game Bethesda released again? Starfield something, right? Yeah, I'm gonna hope that these whole quick time events aren't too fucking terrifying, because genuinely I hate those things. And if I have to use mouse and keyboard, I'm not gonna be as quick with it as I would be normally, but I'm not gonna constantly have to worry about not opting out of the game so that my controller keeps working. I just don't have the fucking patience for that, and all its buggery glory. Yeah, I've heard that the nail in the coffin for Starfield was actually that it was just plain old boring, which I wonder if that it is more that the Bethesda sandbox archetype for games is just a little played out, instead of Starfield just being boring. Because I had the same thing with a game that Obsidian make that was similar to that. All the Bethesda games, I can't remember it. Outer Wilds? No, that's something else. Outer Field? Yeah, well, I still play the AAA titles from now and then. I guess, would you consider the Xenoblade games AAA titles? I would. They are made by FromSoft, which is a pretty big developer from Nintendo, right? No, is Xenoblade Square? Shit, hold up. Xenoblade developer. Oh, I remember this bit. It's Monolith Soft. It's Monolith. I remember this bit. Yeah, I actually did finish Future Redeemed yesterday. So, I'm not sure if I'm gonna immediately play Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition, or if I'm gonna play a different JRPG that I bought during the sale. It's called, let's see, it's called, where is it? I downloaded it. Oh, is it in the back? It's called Ether Nights. Apparently it's kind of Persona-esque, and I was curious, and it was a decent amount off. I might play that instead of Xenoblade Chronicles X first, just to see if I enjoy it. Not really sure, no. Seems to have some dating sim elements, and I've always disliked that. It's not that I think the formula is necessarily wrong, but I hate not being able to get everything in a run. It just absolutely bothers the shit out of me. And when it comes to dating sim games, the problem with me and dating sim games is that I hate not being able to get everything. And after I've done a certain route, I usually don't want to do any other routes, because you have to go through a bunch of same stuff just to get to maybe 10 to 20% new content, you know? So, well, Xenoblade is first party title, so categorizes as triple. Yeah, then I still play some AAAs. Xenoblade is, I'm gonna say, probably my favorite JRPG series. Dragon Quest is a close second though. But I'm saying that Xenoblade right now is my favorite because I have not been enjoying Dragon Quest XI as much as people's reviews would let on. Now, it might just be that it will get better later on. I'm only played maybe 10-ish hours of it at this point. But still, if you can't grab me in 10 hours, then you're not doing something right. And it's not even that the story is slow or anything like that. It's more that Dragon Quest XI feels a little bit unfinished to me. And a lot of new things they do in Dragon Quest XI just feel unnecessary. Like being able to move around during combat. Yeah, initially I thought, oh, that's cool, that's nice. They're doing something new with combat. Okay, but it's basically just the exact same thing, except you can move around in combat. And it makes everything look way more awkward because you're the only one moving around in combat. It's not like the enemies or your allies are moving around. You're the only one moving around, and it doesn't matter how you position them or anything. So the only thing it accomplishes is making everything look awkward. So yeah, that's one. It just all feels a bit unfinished and necessary. By the way, I'm assuming you've given up on Limbus yet. I'm not sure how to answer that question, as well. I have given up on actively keeping up with Limbus. It's not like I've given up on the game entirely. I'm planning to go through the story, but I just can't deal with the stupid ass boss design anymore. I'm just gonna wait until the max level is increased and I can just power my way through it, because I am absolutely done with the shitty boss design that they're going for. The direction the combat is going through is just, I'm done. Also, I'm not even able to participate in any of the new events anymore, which is something that I warned people about, that that's a really shitty decision for Limbus Company, but I'm not gonna go shit talk Limbus Company here. But so yeah, I am not actively keeping up with like having everything completed, but I will go through the story at some points when I don't have when I can just power through the bosses. Why you ask? Did something happen with Limbus? Where am I? I have to click like twice.
You okay, Ryuki?
Ah, yes, boss. How are you doing, boss? So you're gonna wait for Kanto to pass because the level only races with each new Kanto song. New Kanto will cap. Yeah, I guess. I just can't, man. So right now I am at the Don Quixote boss in Interfollow whatever, you know, the one where there is the Limbus checkup. And I just fucking can't. I just don't want to play that boss fight. It's so unfun to me. I just do not have fun fighting Don Quixote. Every time I do it, I'm just like, well, I haven't really tried it since the last time, but just the thought of Limbus Company's fights going more into the direction of freaking Don Quixote, and I mean the Kanto 7 boss, just saddens me greatly. Because it just makes it harder and harder and less fun for people that don't have everything. And I just fucking can't. So yeah, I guess that's my plan, to just wait for the level caps to increase. So I'll be at least one Kanto behind everybody else. I'm not even sure if I'm gonna stream that anymore, because who would want to see me play a Kanto that's already been passed a long ass time ago, right?
Alright, let's keep going. Next question.
Hello.
In Indian mythology, what is the name of the half-god, half-beast spirits that imbibe sense and are known for their musical ability?
How am I supposed to know that? Sure. Inspect people and objects. Will process the story. Hey girl, what's up? Well, we could always just schedule a fight over Discord and you can ride shotgun with me while I do the Kanto. Yeah, but that... I appreciate that, but the problem isn't that... The problem isn't with how hard the game is. It's about the fact that it is just not fun for me to play anymore. That's basically my problem with it. Because... it's so hard to explain. It's so fucking hard to explain, though. I'm doing alright, overall. I'm just playing some AI, the Somnium Files, NirvanA Initiative, because the third game is coming out, trying to be chill about everything. But yeah, it's hard to explain. The best way I can sum it up is that the core gameplay of Limbus Company isn't enjoyable for me anymore. And no matter how easy it would make it for me if you had the reins, it would still not be fun for me. I wouldn't be playing Limbus Company because I find it enjoyable. I would just be playing it for the sake of it, and maybe because I really want to see the story. And that's just not worth it to me. I'll get to Limbus Company when I get to it, but genuinely, unless they change something with the core gameplay or how they design encounters, I just can't. Well, that's why I offered to let you ride shotgun. I'll go through wall smashing with my face while you get some laughs and while you enjoy the story. I'll think about it. But for now, I'm just gonna let it be, because Limbus Company is... God, I don't want to be a bitch about it, because I genuinely want to like Limbus Company, but Limbus Company is doing so many things wrong in my eyes that it's just hard to, like, see it as anything but, like, bad at this point. because Limbus Company could have kept me as a player if they at least allowed me to do the side stuff, right? If, for example, I was able to do the events, then they could have probably kept me as a player, because then at least I had something to do instead of just leveling up my identities and hoping that my team works. Hey, no need to get defensive about the game. If you enjoy it, and you know, that's good for you. I wish I could be the same. Genuinely, I wish I could be with you there. I fucking love Project Moon's storytelling and their world building and a bunch of other stuff from them, and I genuinely wish I could enjoy Limbus Company, but it's just not happening. Yeah, no, I get it. If this is how they want to run it, it's what they need to do. It's just that they're not... It's just not for me. Let's see. Inspect people and objects will proceed the story. You can freely move the cursor and camera. First look around and set the cursor on an object that interests you. Alright. Okay, I can move... Oh... Kinda wish it would just move with the cursor without having to move the... Oh, I don't really... Okay. So I have to actually move the arrows. That's kinda annoying. I would have preferred them having the camera movement be tied to WASD and then having the cursor movement tied to the arrows, because... Well, I'm gonna be able to move the cursor with my mouse. Well, it's what it is. I'm gonna have to just deal with it. Maybe find a way for my controller to work next time. Alright, let's see what we have here. I do remember a little bit of this. Let's see. So this is like a point and click adventure for people that aren't familiar with AI, the Somnium File, where I click on things and then I'll get options to interact with them or get information about them. This isn't the entirety of the game, because you will also have puzzle parts and so on. For now, let's talk to the chief, or boss. I always call her the chief, because I feel like as a police chief it just makes more sense, okay? I imagine they'll be explaining how all of these choices work, but I don't really need that. I do remember some of the first game. So what I can do here is just pick out of any one of these options, and then the boss will respond to them in turn. Though be careful, because sometimes if you pick the option that will will move the story along, you won't be able to pick the other option. So I usually try to be careful about that, but you don't really get any sort of indication which option will move the story along, so you just kind of have to guess. My age is showing. The first thing to enter my mind were the older point and clicks like Broken Sword, Gabriel Knight, Full Throttle. When I think of point and clicks, I usually think of Monkey Island or some of those older point and click games for children. You know, the ones with the fish or the purple car. I don't remember them entirely, but when I was young, I think 3 or 4, my school had those games downloaded on the PCs we were allowed to use on, and no matter what, no matter the time, some kid would be playing those games, and I have some fond memories of them there. You know, funnily enough, I've never actually played Monkey's Island, but it's just ingrained into my soul for whatever reason. I think it's because their OST is killer. Oh, and my dad used to play Myst a lot, but I don't remember if that was a point and click or not. What am I doing here? Where am I? What was the question again? Okay, I'm guessing that what was the question again will be the thing that will move along the story. Oh, can we look? I've always liked the boss's design for the most part, especially the red jacket with the gloves like that. I've always enjoyed that. It's probably because Monkey Island is a seminal title, and yeah, Myst is technically a point-and-click, but it's more puzzle solver. But yeah, I do like. But yeah, I remember a bit of Myst, but that was my dad played that when I was really, really young. So my dad stopped playing games when I was around 10 or 12. Funnily enough, when I really started to get into games. Alright, there's the boss. Not really more information there, but alright. What am I doing here?
Just press the button already.
Jesus.
You see that button on the table, right? Push it, and you get to answer the question.
Where am I?
What? You're joking, right? What are you talking about?
Okay. Boss is a little bit mean, but we seem to be in some sort of dream, so I'm just gonna assume... Oh, what the fuck? I'm just gonna assume that maybe this guy we're playing as doesn't have a great opinion of the boss.
In Indian mythology, what is the name of the half-god, half-beast spirits?
I have no fucking clue. Like, absolutely nothing. I know that there's a... Is it Vishnu? Is it that elephant one? I don't know if that one actually plays
that
music.
imbibe sense and are known for their musical ability.
I have no fucking clue.
If you know the answer, spit it out.
I have no clue. How am I supposed to know this? I don't have a clue about Indian mythology. I don't really have a clue about any mythology, if I'm gonna be entirely honest. I don't really care much about mythology in general.
And that's the answer button for the quiz. Why don't you press it?
Tama, you mean this button?
Yeah. You'd better hurry, or the other teams are gonna answer before you.
Just hit the button and it'll fly by the seat of your pants. Alright, let's see what we get.
There we go! Team Popo was the quickest. And your answer is?
Okay. Thanks, but we can actually also look at some other stuff, so you don't just have to look at, for example, the chief or this host. You can also press here, a monitor, and you'll get a little bit of information about the thing you pressed. Sometimes the information you get can be pretty funny. It's one of the reasons why I really like this game, because it genuinely does gel with my sense of humor. Well, most of the time. There are some jokes where I'm like, kinda overstates its welcome. For example, in the first game there was this joke with the main character where he would always get distracted by, for example, porn mags, and the first time I already thought it wasn't all that funny, and then the second time like, alright, the joke is being played out, and then the third, fourth time, and it just keeps going to the point where you're like, alright, mate, come on, just calm the fuck down. Signboard. A monitor. Not really getting much extra info here. Oh. Alright, guess we're not getting much extra info here. And we can't press on the other participants. Oof, this thing is just a little... Oh, I do not like how the camera is moved around. I really do need to find a way to use my controller next time. Alright, let's keep going. Date. So Date is actually the name of the main character from the previous game. Centaur, Ganravia, and Satyr. Fuck it, let's just go with Date, because why the fuck not?
Huh?
What?
The answer is Gandharva. Okay, let's keep going then, shall we? Next question. Are you familiar with the new Cyclops serial killings?
Ah, there we go.
What?
No, not you, Mr. Ryuki.
There we go.
This question is for that person on the other side.
Are you talking about me?
Who was that?
Am I the person on the other side? Am I the person on the other side? Are they going with some weird fourth wall breaking crap right now? Am I the Cyclops killer in this game? That would be something. Jeez. Yeah, I basically clicked everything. I did see something green. Okay, I basically clicked everything. Why ask about that?
Hurry now, your answer, please. This is the Face-to-Face Special, a 6-hour quiz show live stream marathon.
Could you imagine having to be in a quiz show for 6 hours?
Have you forgotten?
I would absolutely get a headache from this music alone. Too happy.
The question is whether or not you're familiar with the new Cyclops serial killings. Easy, right?
Do we have to talk to the chief?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, okay. What a strange quiz.
You think so? Seems like a normal quiz to me.
The new Cyclops serial
The
killings.
questions in this quiz aren't aimed at you, Ryuki. They're for you. On the other side.
So are we actually talking about me? Am I you?
I don't understand what you're saying.
I don't actually remember much from the hour or so I played before, so would be interesting if they're actually going to try a fourth wall breaking scenario. Is that the right verse? Yes, you're you. Hilarious. No, but that would be interesting. I don't know if you are aware, but these games, the AI games, are made by the same person or written by the same person. I'm not entirely sure. That made 999 and the Zero Escape games, which have always had some sort of concept at the core of their game that they're trying to explain to the audience or the player in this situation. In the first game, it was some sort of field that allowed you to cyclically link with each other and then be able to telepathy. Words. In the second game, it was being able to jump from different scenarios, like timelines to timelines, and I haven't finished the third game yet, so no spoilers there. What kind of Persona is this? You know, it does actually have a little bit of a Persona vibe if you squint your eyes, I will agree to that. It has that anime vibe. I would say that this series does take itself a little bit less seriously than Persona. I'd say the closest game I could realistically relate it to would be something akin to Yakuza, where you have a bunch of silly side stuff, but then the main story can actually get kinda dark at points. So, yeah, a little bit Persona, a little bit of Yakuza. I blame rewatching Rush Hour. Honestly, I haven't really played many Persona games lately. The last one I played was Persona 5, and that was at least a couple years ago. Actually, I started to play Persona 2, if you guys are familiar with that one. Obviously, you're familiar with that there is a Persona 2, but if you're familiar with Persona 2 as a game in general, I actually started the gameplay there, but then I decided that it might be more fun to stream it at some point. Which version of P2? I think it was the one on the PSP. Is there a better version? I do know there's also one for the PlayStation 2, I believe. I already played Persona 1, so I thought that it would be nice to play Persona 2 as well. Or do you mean with which version of Persona 2, which actual version? Because I do know there are two, but if I'm not mistaken, you have one Persona 2, I don't remember the names, that you should play first, and then the second Persona 2 takes place after that. They're both on the PSP. I'm referring to which story, Innocent Sin or Eternal Punishment. I'll have to look that up. Hold up a second. Where did I put my totally legitimate copy of Persona 2? Let's see. Oh, wrong one. There we go. Let's see. My totally legitimate copy. There we go. No. If the main character is male, it's the former. If it's female, it's the latter. Then it's former. Then it's the former. Then I am playing Innocent Sin. I thought that that was the first one you should play, right? Innocent Sin. Let's see. Yeah, Innocent Sin. I'm seeing it here. I was playing Persona. Yeah, I haven't picked it back up yet again, but I am interested in actually playing that at some point. Though the story does feel like a mystery if you play it in reverse order. Really? I do always like the idea of maybe getting a different perspective on games if you play them in a different order. Well, I normally do play them in release order, as I feel like that's the best way to experience most games. I can somewhat understand the desire to maybe get a different experience on that. You can only play a game for the first time once, after all. It's the same with Library of Runa, if you really think about it, where if you play Lobotomy first, then you are in the perspective of Angela, where you know everything that has happened and most of the backstory behind everything. And if you haven't played it first, then you're in Rolling Shoes, where you just feel like you're missing a really big chunk of what's going on. And while I personally would prefer to play Lobotomy before playing Library, when you get into a case like that, I could understand some people enjoying the latter a little bit more. I don't understand what you're saying. Boss is sitting next to me. Alright then, guess boss isn't gonna be super much help. Fuck. The camera, how the camera moves is really fucking annoying to me. It's just that it moves a little bit too far away. I'm not good at soft pressing things. I played in reverse. I was confused half the time in Eternal Punishment, while the story unfolded and made more sense when I finally did Innocent Sin. Alright. Okay, what do I have to press? Oh, I'm supposed to press the fucking button. I'm an idiot.
Oh, and Team Popo presses the button. You must be ready to answer.
So, how do you say the Persona games stack up against each other? If we had to make a list of favorite Persona games, I'd say for me, and mind you, I've played limited Persona games, but I do have some experience. I'd say I'd probably put Persona 1 at the bottom, because as much as it started the franchise, I wouldn't say it held up all that well. I'm not saying it's bad. For the time, it was a genuinely good JRPG that had some good story concepts, but the gameplay and some of the characters that aren't as deep. Why is it named Popo? Because the chief and this guy are part of the police. Most of the protagonists in this game series actually work for a special unit in the police force called something Somnium. I don't actually remember. It's been a fucking while. Just a person. P2, P1, P3, P5, P4. Okay, so if I'm reading this right, you would put P... Wait, you would... Okay, so... From my favorite to least favorite. Ah, you like P1 a lot more than I expected. I'd say P1 would probably be the bottom for me. I haven't played P2 yet, but from what I've seen of it, I'd say it would probably end up in my top tier. I prefer Persona 3 over 4. But I would say that they are fairly interchangeable, and which one you prefer depends on the vibes you enjoy most. Let's see. I'm not really... I think I would put Persona 5 above 3 and 4. But I will admit that Persona 5 does lag a bit in the middle. I'd say Persona 5 has a really good start, a really good end, but the middle is a little bit middling. Huh? I'd say that after the Futaba Palace, though, it all picks up again. So you would have about 20 to 30 hours of just dead space in Persona 5. So I can say it's the best JRPG ever. Mechanics aside, PS1 has a lot better atmosphere and story. I can get... I can see that. The atmosphere is immaculate in Persona 1. Plus the fact Persona 1 is in its complete state actually has 2 different story campaigns. That was a rare for JRPGs back in the day. Yeah, no, I didn't consider that. I didn't consider that. I didn't consider the Snow Queen or the Ice Queen campaign. That is true. Okay, you know what? You have actually sold me on Persona 1 a little bit. Well, I still don't think it is the best Persona game. I would probably place it above... it's difficult. I'd probably place it above Persona 4 at least. I would place it above Persona 4. Not above Persona 3 though, but that's mainly because I like Persona 3's whole vibe more.
But before you do, I want you to take this question very seriously.
I wonder if this host is voice acted by someone important in the game and this is some sort of subconscious subconscious. That would be pretty cool. I don't actually know the mystery of this game. I have been kept spoiler free for the entire time, which I am extremely happy about.
The new Cyclops serial killings. The incident in which many victims got their eye gouged out and murdered. Are you or are you not familiar with it?
I am. I actually solved the case a couple years ago.
This will determine if we can dig into the details of that incident in the coming 6 days.
In other words, we're asking if we can give you spoilers for the first game.
Okay, that's some fourth wall breaky stuff.
But don't worry. Even if you don't know anything about it won't affect how you progress.
So we're actually talking to me. Like, that's the thing. I wonder if this is just for this first part where they will directly talk to me, or if we'll actually have some interactions beyond that, because I do actually like some fourth wall breaking in my games if it's done appropriately, and I do think AI could handle it.
Serial killers and what you're about to experience, they have nothing to do with each other. Promise.
I don't believe you.
So please, just tell me honestly. Are you familiar with the new Cyclops serial killings?
I am.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Don't be lying
Otherwise
now.
I wouldn't say I am.
Let's give you a simple test, just to make sure.
Okay, it's been years since I played that game. I'm not going to be able to answer any quiz questions.
The one who resolved the new Cyclops serial killings was Kaname Date of Abyss.
Yeah, see, they're part of Abyss, the unit of the police.
On the final day of that investigation, someone was shot in the leg by the culprit. Who was that someone?
Fuck, I don't know.
No need to give me their last name. First name only, please.
I don't fucking know. It's been forever. It's been for how the fuck am I supposed to know? It's been forever since I actually played the fucking game. It could have been Date. It could have been someone else. Okay, think about it, Felix. Who was shot again? Fuck, it might have been the mother of Iris, if I really think about it. Okay, so it was either Date. I don't think that Misaki was the one that got shot. They wouldn't just shoot a kid. They would straight up kill a kid, but they wouldn't have shot her. Let's see. Might have been Date. It might have been Iris's mom. I don't think it was the chief. Fuck, there were so many routes in that game that I don't actually remember everything. Fuck it, I'm just gonna use the old internet for this. I don't want them to think that I don't know. Would it actually change anything? Whatever. just gonna write Date down. I don't genuinely remember. Maybe if they gave me a multiple choice, I would have been able to do it, but fuck it. Yeah, well, I don't fucking know.
That's wrong. Are you sure you really know?
Yes, I really know. The details just are a little foggy, alright, asshole?
Well, even if you didn't, there's nothing to be ashamed of.
It has no effect on how you progress
I don't-
this game.
I don't like how this game pretends that I'm lying. I just don't remember everything in detail.
It won't spoil the fun either. So don't worry.
Kinda wanna punch these voices now.
Oh, did you hear that sound?
Who was shot in the final game? If it wasn't Date... Was it the actual serial killer? I'm not saying their name because I don't want to spoil the game. Was it the actual serial killer that got shot? But that would be too fucking obvious, wouldn't it? Maybe though? I could see that having happened. I'll admit P1 is an acquired taste and product of its time. It's kind of unfair to use modern parameters to gauge it because the game design had come a long way. I don't think that's unfair. When you're comparing a series to each other, I think if you rank how good any game is, it's completely fair to rank them based off of each other. Yeah, obviously Persona 5 is gonna be a lot more polished than Persona 1 because there is, what, 20 plus years in between their making? But that doesn't change the fact that you still have to rank them against each other, because at that point, yeah, Persona 1 would probably be a lot higher up if you rank them compared to the time they came out, you know? But I don't really see that being fair, you know?
That means the next question will be the last.
Alright, let's see what we have.
Are you ready?
Yes, just don't call me a liar
A
again.
precognitive dream
Oh, huh. I can actually move it with my mouse. That's actually really helpful. Thank fuck.
is a dream that lets you see the future.
Yes, it is. Wait, is this reverse controls? No, it's not. Okay, I'm just...
But these precognitive dreams,
Are they really?
Maybe they're going into the route where there are different timelines and the precognizant dreams are from that.
Truly real.
Alrighty then. Scary. And they're sliced in half. Thank God it's just a blue-shaped thing instead of an actual person.
Can't be.
What's wrong, Ryuki? Are you okay?
Well, at least it's not bloody. What? Yeah, this game can be a little bit trippy from time to time. And now we're moving on to a completely different scene. I do hope that it's followable. Oh, hey, Misuke! Yeah, I was super excited when I saw that Misuke was the main character in the game. I absolutely loved Misuke in the first game. Misuke in the first game. And it's cool that they actually aged her up and then gave her some more agency in this game and made her the protagonist.
Be careful, Mizuki. I've detected a biological response.
And there we got Aiba, my absolute favorite character. I absolutely love Aiba. She is the best. I was a little bit sad to know that Date and Aiba would have been split up because now Aiba is with Misuki, but from what I've seen in the first game, Aiba will be back with Date, so it's cool.
3 o'clock. Distance of 315 feet. In the middle row of seats.
I really hope that Ah, fuck, no! No, don't do random shit. Please, please, game, don't do this to me. I fucking hate this type of thing. No! Fucking quick time events haven't been a good idea ever. Ugh. Okay, this is fine though. This is fine. I can handle this. My reaction time is not the best, but... Okay, during the story, with the power of Aiba, you can gain special visual information. Right now you can use zoom plus night vision mode function. Select zoom. Alright.
It's a device that records the lap times for runners.
Yeah, so Aiba is fucking great though. Like, you guys are gonna see while we're playing this game that she's absolutely fucking fantastic. QTE jump scare. Yeah, I am not happy with that. That's the one thing about this game I fucking hate. The QTEs are terrible. And the worst thing is I have to do this with my fucking keyboard. My fucking keyboard, man. I barely play games that require decent reaction times on my fucking keyboard. I always use controller for those fuckers. You guys are gonna see me fuck up so many times.
It can display time in increments of 1/1000th of a second.
Focus. We've got more important things to deal with.
Oh, Kuro. Last time I streamed, you asked for like, what was it again? Like, if you wanted to help me with Limbus Company, right? So, the Hermit did something similar, and that's why I made a server where if I need help with something, you guys can help me. So if you want to be on that server for when I need help, then just let me know. The server isn't all that active, mainly because I kind of forget about it from time to time. Which, sorry for having ignored your message by the Hater Hermit, I just don't really use Discord much beyond talking to some people specifically. Yeah, technically, yeah. Its only point is for when I need help with Limbus Company, though, so don't expect much of it, please.
You're the one who inspected it.
Let's see. Kind of want to see more. God, fuck. I feel like the movement should be reversed. The ground is covered in turf. Large monitor. Can I reverse? I'm gonna see if I can reverse the log menu. I'm gonna see if I can. That was nice. Did you guys see? When we went into the menu, instead of the screen just going to black, it actually looked like an eye closing. That's actually a really nice detail, right? Like, that's pretty good. Those little details are always just fun to me. Access many functions such as file, flowchart, and options from the menu. Alright, thank you. Oh, and I can save, that's good. I can just save whenever, that's actually really good for streaming then. Evaluation, Aiba's room. I want to buy some DLC just to... Okay, so this is Aiba's human form.
You wanted to see me that badly?
I did actually, I really fucking like you. You are one of my favorite fucking characters. Yeah, so this is where all the DLC went. You can dress Aiba up.
Yay! It's dress-up time! If it looks good on Tama, it'll look good on me.
I will just keep her normal for the most part. Alright. I don't really think... Yeah, I don't have anything else. I am the sad. But better have cosmetic DLCs, right? Okay, well, we'll explore this a little bit later because I don't actually know much about how what I'm supposed to do with that. But I was actually looking for options for the camera movement. Let's let's see, first person vertical camera, third person, first person camera speed. Alright, I don't actually know if this is the right one, but first person, okay. Okay, well, let's see if this is better for me. Ooh, it's also... Okay, hold up, I need to... Okay, so, up, 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 up. Yeah, this makes sense to me, but that up and down does not. What kind of weird brain do I have that I need the vertical to be side by side? Sure. Tells this. An experienced AI will give you advice, okay?
Worried about health?
Worried about health? That's right, sure. I guess I genuinely am worried about my health.
Something wrong with your health?
My body is okay for the most part. I just, in general, am worried about health.
Do you take care of your body?
Apparently, microplastics actually give you a higher chance of getting diseases like Alzheimer's and everything. At least that's what they're researching right now, which scared me a little bit, because it's really hard to not have plastic around your food. I'm trying, but it can be pretty fucking terrifying. Well, I'm careful about what I eat, at least.
Really?
Yep.
That is a good thing.
It is. Don't really know where this is going.
Living organisms eat to build their body. A good, efficient diet is the key to good health.
That's true. A good, like, eating well is about 80% of your health, and the rest is
be wary.
moving around.
There are products out there with unrealistic claims and dubious miracle cures.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to keep all my foods natural for the most part. Now getting them, I think in... what's it called? What's it called in English? You know, without preservatives and everything. I'm even making my own sweets myself because of those stupid microplastic bullshit. Do you know how annoying it is to have to make your own fucking sweets? Super annoying. I like to get some sweets with my tea, but now I have to make cookies or cupcakes whenever I do, and it's super annoying.
Just because it's endorsed by some famous person doesn't make it reliable. Also, there is no quick and easy way to be healthy.
Thank you, I guess. I'm just gonna move away again because I'll figure this out later. Not that I don't want to talk to you, Aiba, I'm just trying to move on with the game. Alright, so let's see. So third person, horizontal, vertical. Okay, so we want to keep the horizontal reverse, but the vertical normal. And alright. That should do it. Now what's this? Fuck, there's so much going on, but I just have to... I want to focus on the story, okay. No. Alright, yeah. Wait, what? I'm fucking around with the camera too much, but genuinely... Ah, fuck it. I'm just gonna let this... Ah, fuck it. I'm just gonna put it back to normal. I know I just wasted a bunch of time, but... Oh, that felt fucking wrong. Still doesn't feel entirely right, but I'm just gonna have to deal with it. Alright, I think, was the shooter around here?
Aiba, zoom in. Night vision mode.
Roger that.
Yeah, he's over there. I don't think we can shoot them from here. This is pretty cool though. What else do I do? I don't know why this camera movement feels a little bit weird to me. The reverse actually felt a little bit more natural, but then when I did it for a longer time, it started to feel weird as well. Can I...
Use the X-ray next.
Understood.
You know, I just realized, but Mitsuki actually had to lose an eye for it to be able to have Aiba installed in her. I'm hoping she didn't just do that to get Aiba into her eye socket. That seems a little bit excessive.
Found you. Who is that?
Identity unknown. Judging from their figure, they appear to be female.
Alright, well, if she isn't a different character that didn't appear in the first game, then it's either gonna be Iris, which I doubt, because Iris and Mitsuki basically are sisters at this point, if Date and Iris's mom are still a thing. So I doubt that Iris would want to kill Mitsuki. Any other female characters? You have that mermaid maid chick, which Date had found attractive, I suppose. You got Chief, but I highly fucking doubt it's Chief. She did have some suspicious moments in the first game, but that was all explained away after a while. Yeah, it's probably gonna be a new character.
Ah, so she's jealous, huh? I bet that's it. Why else would another girl target me?
You can't think of any other reason?
Well, sure, but I'm really cute, you know?
You are adorable, yeah.
That's why other girls don't like me much.
I am fairly certain that has more to do with your personality.
Alright, let's see what we got.
Mizuki, load Evolver with a stun grenade round. You should be able to knock your opponent unconscious by detonating it near them.
Got it.
Such a cool gun. It gives me a... do you guys know Judge Dredd? It always gave me a little bit of Judge Dredd gun vibes, where you have different rounds.
Ready.
In this one, you actually have to load the different routes, though. You can't just yell out hotshot or penetrate or incendiary and it appearing, but still cool.
I will display the aiming reticle. Take aim and pull
By the way,
trigger.
did you guys know that when in the Judge Dredd comic universe, humanity actually is an interstellar empire? I would have never guessed. Like, genuinely, when I figured that out, I was surprised. Judge Dredd never really took Judge Dredd as a space sci-fi opera world.
On it.
Always felt like the megacities were everything that remained. Oh shit! What? I feel like that was a little bit unfair. The mouse didn't move for the first couple of seconds. And Judge Dredd had to basically fight off the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. Well, they were actually the judges from a different universe where they decided that every living thing is like infringes upon the law because only the living break the law and so on. Cool designs though. Judge Dredd, Death and all that. Pretty fucking amazing. Pretty fucking amazing overall.
Detecting the target's footsteps. They seem to be heading toward the stadium exit.
Ugh. Can't let them get away.
Yeah, Judge Dredd was a bit on my mind because I just rewatched that Judge Dredd movie from 2013. If you haven't watched it yet, freaking amazing movie. Really too bad that they didn't get the sequel, but the box office was not that great. Would have been cool as a series as well. I don't mean the Judge Dredd movie with Sylvester Stallone, by the way. I mean the one from 2013. I think it's just called Dredd instead of Judge Dredd.
Mizuki, wait. Even you won't be able to catch up to them. More importantly...
The one with Carl Urban? Yeah, that was well done. Yeah, oh.
There's something there.
A dead body, which... How the hell did we miss that the last time?
Yes.
Was that actually already there, or God, that would have been pretty cool if that was already there, and I just didn't notice.
Hey, that's...
You recognize him?
Yeah, I'm sure of it. I'll never forget. It's...
Who? Holy shit, that's guys in half.
the left half of his body.
It's a half... It's a guy half... What do you call this? A bisected guy.
His name is Jin Furue.
The fuck?
I remember it clearly. 6 years ago. At Studio Devita. The... right half of his body.
Six years ago. So, are we gonna switch between
Ryuki, what's
Mizuki's
wrong?
perspective and
Pull yourself
Ryuki's
together.
perspective? That would be pretty cool. Again with the quizzes.
Boss, where am I?
Don't tell me you were sleeping. Who falls asleep in the middle of a live stream?
Oh my god, what's that square-looking guy?
Mr. Ryuki, you're working under boss, right?
This is Iris, by the way.
Boss, have you been giving him vacation time?
She's probably working him to the bone on his off hours, too.
I resent that. That is not true. I just have him scrape the stratum corneum off my heels every once in a while.
So is
Hey,
this
Ryuki,
actually happening or a
Are you
dream?
sure you're alright?
Oh, yeah.
All right, now that Mr. Ryuki is awake, let's get back to it, shall we? Here we go, next question. Which Taoist symbol, shaped like interlocking black and white commas, represents the origin of all things?
Oh, thank god. I did not know the answer to that.
A blackout?
What are you standing around for? Get the lights!
Yeah, I'm on it.
Afraid to free. Did you know there's actually a theory that this game takes place in the same world as Danganronpa and Zero Escape? I haven't really looked much into the theory, but apparently it started because in the first game there was actually some Monokuma shadowing. Would be a pretty cool idea. Oh shit, it's this guy. Hey man, how you doing? Ask his
Wow, I'm honored that you'd ask. My name is Kagami.
name. Hey Kagami.
Kagami, huh? It's nice to meet you, Kagami.
It's Kagami. Kagami. I told you it's Kagami!
I know his name already, I don't need to keep asking. There's actually...
It's snowing, but it hasn't piled up yet.
Yeah.
By the way, Mizuki, there is something that has been bothering me.
Which is?
What's this?
This is the field before law enforcement arrived.
Yeah, what is his name again? I forgot. There was actually a recurring joke in the first game where Date would constantly ask this specific guy's name, and it would escalate and escalate and escalate and escalate, and it was actually pretty freaking hilarious, and I absolutely loved it. Let's just hope that they keep making the joke, because it is still funny to me.
Notice anything peculiar?
Also, it's a shame you can't see my proper face, because I had just a giant smile on my face when I saw the guy and kept asking his name.
No, nothing in particular.
The turf runs a considerable distance and is wet from the snow. If someone were to step on it, they would leave a trace.
Ah, you're saying there are no footsteps.
However,
there aren't any footprints.
Maybe they lowered the body from somewhere?
Indeed.
Then how did the body...
Unknown. Perhaps they descended from the sky. or rose up from the ground. Or they teleported here.
Teleported?
I was joking. Do not take it seriously.
Hey man, I don't know. You guys have some sci-fi stuff. You can delve into someone's mind and look into their dreams. Teleportation isn't beyond you guys. Alright, let's see what we got. Let's see, we got boss over here. We got some important looking guy. We got another police officer. Let's just keep asking the guy we... Okay, we can't keep asking him. No, okay. Okay, let's just ask Akami what he knows about the body. How's the investigation going?
I've finished gathering DNA samples.
Here we go.
It's being sent to forensics now. I'm sure the results will be out shortly.
Thank you. Do you recognize the body?
Of course, ma'am. It's Jin Furroway. I don't think there's anyone in our generation who wouldn't recognize him. He was famous until he passed away. Well, even after he died.
And 6 years ago, I was part of that investigation too.
Were you at the studio by any chance?
You don't remember? We did talk for a bit.
Sorry, don't remember.
In Mizuki's defense, a corpse suddenly showed up. It might have not been on her mind anymore.
You don't leave much of an impression. In a good way.
In a good way?
By the way, what's with the ma'am?
Abyss is a high-level organization in the police department. You do technically outrank me, ma'am.
Huh. Really? But you don't need to worry about the formalities with me.
What? For real? I can be casual with you?
Do you want to get your ass kicked?
Sorry. Sorry, ma'am.
Alright, nothing else. So as you can see, we just were able to talk to everybody and just keep asking them things, but depending on the person, they might not have much to say. Like, if we go to this random guy, we can't really click on him.
I don't even have to ask about you.
God, what's with the lips?
Yamizuki Okira,
Wait,
18
she's
years
18?
old. A high schooler attending Sakiba High.
I'll be honest, I
The
guess
all-girls
she
school,
was
right?
younger. Maybe it's because of her height. I just assumed she was maybe 16 at most.
Ah, but Okira is your former name. You've been adopted by Date, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, that's not ominous.
You were at the studio when the other half of the corpse was found.
So I take it you were there too?
Yeah. Back then I was on the investigation team. Though you were 12 at the time, so I can't blame you for not remembering me.
Thank you for stating what should have been stated
I
before.
heard you became a special agent at Abyss. That boss lady got her claws in you, huh? This little girl gets hired as an investigator. Huh. Guess they'll take anyone they can get. Times sure have changed.
Abyss is a particularly special organization. Mizuki was hired via what might be referred to as extra-legal measures.
Know anything?
I should be asking you. You're the one who discovered the body, right? You were also at the studio 6 years ago when the other half was found. Quite a coincidence, don't you think?
What, so you're saying that when she was 12 she killed a guy? And then when she was 18 she decided to, I don't know, suddenly just shove the other half of the body on a fucking football field?
What are you trying to say?
Why did you come here?
I got a Nile message. It said, HB Stadium. That could only be referring to the case 6 years ago.
The half-body serial killings.
I need to know more about that case. Changed my life. Forever. So that's why I came.
Let's see, during investigation, Aima and Tama talk, trivia and additional information will be displayed on the top screen. Regarding Mizuki's smartphone, if it gets reception, I can connect to any network, I can make calls and send any received messages on Nile. Mizuki says, I don't want you to know about my private life. If I leave my eyes closed, you won't be able to see it, right, Aiba? which is why she still carries her smartphone around. Yeah, the eye. So Aiba's actually the fake eye. Is a fake eye inside of one of Mizuki's sockets. It's the yellow one. It can also work as a smartphone, basically. All right. This is just a bonus feature, so you don't need to read it to progress to the game. I'll try and read as many as I can, but I might just get distracted by the game. See, whenever I move the camera, I just, for whatever reason, my brain assumes that it's the opposite. Let's see. Did we? Oh, he still has more. He has still more to say. All right.
Who sent the message?
I don't know. It was sent from an account that signed up with a fake name. Someone must have wanted me to discover the body.
Someone?
Maybe the culprit.
Might want to mention that she's female.
Why would the culprit do that to you?
I don't know.
There is one more thing we don't know. The masked woman who shot at us earlier. Who could this person of interest be? And why did she try to kill you?
And why did she stop so easily? Maybe she only wanted to try once, because then she would have the element of surprise, and the moment she was in danger, she opted out. That could be the case. And she might not be super confident in taking on Mizuki in a straight fight. Which, in all fairness, I wouldn't be either. That kid had superhuman strength when she was 12, so I don't even want to imagine how strong she is at 18. That's no joke, by the way. She had literal superhuman strength. As in, I'm pretty sure she could deadlift a fucking car.
What? You really don't know?
No.
I'm Detective Ushidera, Special Investigations Office, MPD.
Any leads?
Haven't found anything yet, though there is something I didn't find that's particularly interesting.
The footprints.
Bingo. There isn't a single footprint on the field that doesn't belong to someone here.
So while this guy feels a little bit suspicious, I am going to say that he is actually gonna just stay a good guy for the entirety of the game. He might become a red herring at some point, or get killed at some point, but I do think that he's mainly gonna stay on the side of good.
So just how did the culprit do it?
Alright. Let's see. Have we talked to you? No. About the body.
Weird though, isn't it? He got killed 6 years ago, but the body shows up now?
I wonder how fresh the body is. There should be signs of it being frozen for 6 years, right? Would be some freezer burn or something like that. If there isn't any signs of freezer burn, then how the hell is it still as fresh as it is? It would have been rotting and more than likely already a skeleton by now.
Oh, no. I just started investigating, really. Nah. The lining has heating wires in it, so I'm warm. Oh, thank you for the concern, though.
That's actually a really cool idea to have heating wires inside your coat. Alright, the final one we have to talk to is boss, and then we can investigate the corpse. Okay, I feel like the Date one will be the one to move on the story, if we can move on the story with boss. I do think that we still have to investigate the corpse before we can do that. Why are you here?
You do know I'm the commander of Abyss, right?
Right, but that's why I'm asking. Isn't it a bit weird for you to be at a crime scene in person?
Maybe she didn't have anything better to do. Who knows?
This case is special. I saw it too, 6 years ago. The other half of the corpse.
At Studio Divita.
And the HB case is still open, even after all this time. The reputation of the whole department hangs on this case.
By HB case, she is referring to the half-body serial killings, so named because the victims' bodies were cut in two. The culprit is known as Terror. Their identity is unknown. 6 years have passed since Terror first made themselves known, but we have yet to find any promising leads.
I already know that. You don't have to explain it.
Let's see, regarding terror, or tear, has two meanings. Tear as in tears, when you cry. The other tear means to rip something. The culprit of the HB case is more a reference to the latter by adding an air at the end of the tear. We get terror. Alright. Which also kind of sounds like terror as in fear. Which is kind of neat. It's the same with the name of I, because it sounds like I, which she is, but also AI, which she is, and then also I, which means love in Japanese, which apparently also had something to do with it. Which is nice, it's nice, a name with multiple meanings. Alright, you let me investigate this case?
Of course not.
What?
What? Why not?
Because you're only 18, Mizuki.
Why else have her as an investigator?
You're still a student at Sekiba High.
But I barely even go now. I graduate in a month. I hardly have any classes left.
The point is, you're still a student.
Then why did you let me join Abyss?
Because I thought you had potential as a sinker.
I assume your gargantuan strength and combat ability were a factor as well.
But you're basically still an intern. You've only been training for about a month. It's way too early to put you in the field.
Fair enough. I want to be on this case no matter what.
Yeah, I thought you'd...
Please, boss. I have to. This case is...
Can you not give me the puppy dog eyes? You know I'm weak to the puppy dog eyes. Fine, but promise me one thing. Swear to me that you won't do anything dangerous or illegal, no matter what.
Yeah, I swear, I swear!
And one more thing. I am your superior. You should address me with a little more respect.
10-4, boss man. I read you loud and clear.
Do you?
About Date.
Why? What is it?
This is the main character from the first game, by the way.
Well, I was just wondering if he contacted you or anything.
I would have let you know right away if he did. Date was caught in that explosion 6 years ago.
And has been missing ever since. Date's body was never recovered from the scene. Don't worry. I am positive it would take more than that to kill Kaname Date. I am certain he's at the Hot Springs District in Atami or someplace, spending his time in leisure.
If he is, I'd go down there and drown him in that boiling water myself.
Let's see, Date is an Abyss special agent. Yes, this is just telling us who Date is. Who lived with Mizuki until 6 years ago. He's Mizuki... Fuck, that's actually kinda... He's Mizuki's adopted father. Back then, I was Date's partner on investigation. I was nestled in Date's left eye socket ever since the explosion 6 years ago. He's been missing. Yeah, how does that work? Did he just leave the eye behind, or what's going on there? Also, it's pretty fucked up that right after Mizuki got adopted, trusted Date to be her caretaker, he just straight up disappeared. That's pretty fucked up. Hilarious, but fucked up. Still struggling with the whole... with the camera thing. Alright. Screw it, I'm just gonna try reverse again, because this is just not working. My brain is just struggling. Maybe it's because I use a controller normally to move around. I'm just gonna keep switching until I find something that I find agreeable, because my brain just keeps thinking it's the other way around. Alright, let's see if this is gonna work. Yeah, thanks. Okay, so, let's see. Up, down, left, right. Okay, yeah, this actually works better for me. Apparently I'm a weirdo that uses reverse. Oh, this is a little bit fast though. Weird. Alright, well, let's go talk to the corpse. Well, not talk to the corpse.
Would you like to check the corpse with X-ray mode?
Yeah. It's unlikely, but maybe the right half of the body is buried in the ground.
You could simply flip the body over.
No way. I don't want to see that cut. Especially not down there.
In that case, how's this?
Oh, it's just maybe I should. Menu. Just gonna change how fast the camera moves, just a little. Let's see. Let's make that a 4. See if that's slightly better. Ooh, still a little bit much. Still just a little bit much. I wonder if there's some Easter eggs in this mode. Nope, let's just do it 2 then. See if that's good enough. Alright, this is slightly better.
Thanks. I see now. That body is definitely just the left half.
Anything funny to see? Not seeing anything funny. I feel like we shouldn't be seeing her hair like that. I'm not really sure how X-ray worked though, but hair shouldn't be showing up, right? Okay, so am I supposed to press something else?
Definitely Jin Fudoe.
Yeah. The same face we saw 6 years ago at Studio Divita.
Jin was a young industrialist. He was quite famous, and often made media appearances. This cannot possibly be a stranger who happens to look like him.
Guess we can X-ray again, see if we can find anything in the body. Not really seeing anything else we can target, which maybe over here somewhere.
I will get the more shocking facts out of the way
Oh,
first.
okay, I had to just examine it without the X-ray.
The estimated time of death is approximately 9 hours ago.
Yeah, that doesn't really make much sense.
What? 9 hours ago?
It is currently 9 o'clock.
Or maybe
so that
the
would mean
first
he was
body
killed
was a
around
fake.
12.
It could be that the first body was a fake lookalike, but they would have tried to authenticate it, right?
Wait. Hold on.
And freezing it wouldn't have just made it look like it only died 9 hours ago, right? Because like I said before, there are gonna be marks of it having been frozen. You know, cells explode when something is frozen solid.
6 years ago,
Hold that thought. There's more. As you can see, the body was cut in 2.
So what, you're saying that one part of the body was kept alive for 6 years? That would have been horrifying to think about.
There are no other external wounds on the body. It appears that he was sliced in half while he was still alive.
Oof.
As for what was used to cut him, I am sorry, but that cannot be determined.
What do you mean?
Must have been something sharp if it was able to cleanly cut through an entire human body. Bone and muscle doesn't just get cut easily.
Judging by the cross-section, it is clear that it was not a blade. It could not be a laser or pressurized water either.
Then what was it?
As I said, I do not know. The body was cut at the molecular level.
That means that it's gonna be sci-fi technology that did this. So we can't really make any proper estimations.
There is hardly any blood left in the body. It could be speculated that the corpse was left with the cut section facing the ground. However, there are no traces of any blood flow on the ground. Therefore, it is clear that he was murdered at some other location.
"6 years ago, Jin Furue's body was discovered in Studio Divita. And now, his left half was found here at the stadium. And yet his time of death is 12 o'clock today, which means that half his body was alive very recently. What the hell is going on? My brain is doing cartwheels trying to figure this out."
Heyo,
Aiba?
human Aiba.
Hold on, did Aiba just appear?
Yeah.
Wait, let me put my earphones in.
Can you hear me, boss?
Yeah, loud and clear.
Let's see what this is. Sorry for the delayed introductions, but I am Aiba. I am an artificial intelligence called an AI ball. I am high-tech AI eyeball and also Misaki's partner. I'm usually placed in Misaki's left eye socket, but I can also appear in her vision. This image is sent directly to Misaki's brain via her nervous system. That unfortunately means that only Misaki can truly appreciate my beauty. Well, you are adorable. She's also the only one who can hear me. However, by using a special pair of headphones, others can hear me but still not see me. Alright, good information to have. Yeah, I do really think her design is fairly cute. They actually likened it to a shrimp at some point in the first game, which was a fairly funny scene overall. Let's see what we have. What if Jin had the twin brother? Unlikely. What if the body was frozen? Also unlikely. What if he was still alive with just the left half? Incredibly unlikely. What if the right and left half belong to different people? Slightly more likely. I guess that could have been the same over there. Alright, well, let's say ask first if the body was frozen, because that's the thing that I think is the least likely.
There are no signs of him ever having been frozen. That half body was definitely alive until just recently.
I could see it being another person that just looks exactly the fucking same.
I, of course, did consider it a possibility. But both faces match perfectly.
Yeah, but yeah, I guess.
The rest depends on the DNA results.
I guess the only thing that makes sense, except for some sci-fi time technology, would be that they would be fraternal twins. Where is this fraternal twins? What is the thing called where you have twins but they only used one egg? They're basically clones of each other. I don't actually remember what that was called, but that could also explain if the DNA result would be the same, because twins have the same DNA, right? Identical, that's the name, yes. It could be identical twins, for all we know.
I looked into Jin Furue's family background.
Might have an evil twin.
Not only did he not have a twin, but there is no record of him ever having siblings.
What if he was still alive with just the left half?
What?
I mean, the heart is in the left half of the body.
Yeah, but half the brain isn't.
I get it. You think they might have sewn the body back together?
No, there are no traces of that. And were you two being serious? You do realize the cerebrum, brainstem, and spinal cord were completely severed in two?
I am actually really curious to see what kind of solution they're gonna give for this, because unless it's gonna be some sci-fi technology, which I would personally think is I won't say disappointing, because they built it off in the first game and they did it well, but there it was built up properly. So unless they're gonna suddenly introduce some new sci-fi technology that isn't gonna be obviously the answer to the riddle, I don't really know how they're gonna pull this off.
but this case is definitely connected to the incident 6 years ago.
Seriously hard to not talk spoilery about the first game, by the way, but I genuinely do want people to experience that shit themselves if they can. Genuinely one of the best detective games I've played. The puzzles were alright, I do think that some of the puzzles were decent, but the story and the actual problem solving in this game were amazing. The characters too, genuinely one of my favorite games ever.
Which means the half-body case isn't over yet.
Ah, cute Misaki from 6 years ago. I do like what they did with her design here. They do actually showcase her having grown up, but it still feels like Misaki. They haven't really changed anybody else's designs from what I've seen so far. I do remember seeing a trailer with both Iris and... I don't remember the otaku character's name from the last game. That they have actually changed their designs as well, so that's pretty cool too. I obviously wasn't in Abyss then. I wasn't part of the investigation at all. I didn't know much about the case. I did see some of the investigation documents during my training, but the information there wasn't much better than the information on the internet, so I couldn't get the full picture.
Hey, Aiba. How much do you know about the HB serial killings?
As you know, my knowledge of the case is about the same as yours. Due to the explosion 6 years ago, I lost all of my memories from a few days before that point.
I am genuinely excited that this game series has picked up, because it's now 3 games long. I hope it will continue, but I'm also a bit afraid they might not be able to keep the quality up if they keep making games, but they do take their times between games, so it's not like Call of Duty or even the Mega Man Star Network games where they just churn out games as quickly as possible and slowly the quality will go down. I can't judge for the second game yet, but so far it seems to be pretty good. If they're able to just think up interesting cases every time, then the series could last for a little bit. To be fair, most of the series that the guy from 9 and 9 and Zero Escape does usually ends with 3 games. Danganronpa, Zero Escape, and AI, maybe.
And due to poor connection, I was unable to send or retrieve any backups.
What about you, boss?
Same for me. Ryuki was the one on the case at the time. I don't know anything other than what he reported.
What about the stuff he didn't report?
I'm not a psychic. How would I know something that he didn't tell me?
Aiba, where's Ryuki now?
I've determined the location from Talma's GPS.
Okay, so Ryuki is still around. I have expected him to be gone.
Currently, Ryuki seems to be in Golden Yokocho.
Once you move to a different area, map will be displayed on the bottom. Alright. Use map to open a map and choose destination. Thanks for the obvious. Don't think we have anything else to investigate here, so let's go. Alright, let's see. Is this golden? Oh, okay, so does the green mark? Oh, I thought we had to click on the circles, but no, you just have to go over here. Alright. Sometimes I can just not see the obvious. Oh, we're skipping back here. Alright. Might get a bit confusing, but I'm trusting the game to be fairly good at making it understandable, hopefully. Alright, let's see what we have here. Let's first talk to these two, see if they're alright. Okay, not the responses I wanted to give. I've more wanted to see if they were alright, but
Mizuki Date, 12 years old.
Let's just leave it at this.
Her former name is Okiura, but she was adopted by my superior officer, Kaname Date. That's why I've met her a few times before.
Like the time you carried Date home on your back after he had one too many rounds.
Where's Mr. Date?
I don't know. Not his guardian, you know. He got all giddy about taking a long vacation.
Ah, little baby Misuki. Wanna pinch your cheeks. Wanna just pinch your cheeks. would beat the shit out of me for doing it, but I still want to do it.
He's probably at a cabaret club in Meguro right now, pouring some ponzu on that Reika chick's fat thighs.
Oh my god. Okay. Reika is a host. Oh, okay. Is a hostess girl Date has been eyeing. She works the hostess bar. Tiefblau. Unfortunately, I've never met her. But according to Aiba, she looks like a giant stone lantern or an old oil drum. Okay, so are Iris's mom and Date not dating anymore? Did they decide it wasn't gonna work out? Because that's kinda sad for the first game. Like, holy shit. Oh wait, we haven't actually interacted with Misaki fully yet. Need to keep that in mind. What are you doing?
What? Isn't it obvious? Iris is totally freaking out, so I'm helping her calm down. When are you letting me leave anyway? That other detective said you still had questions you needed to ask. So...
Do you know the victim?
Of course. Jin Furue, right?
Furue, that sounds like the name from that chick in Drakengard, the one that is kidnapped and the main character has to find and go after.
I've seen him online a bunch of times.
Nope. Alright, let's talk to Iris. Her name.
I know her name, without asking. Iris Sagan.
I wonder if she's gonna play a bigger part in this game. She actually played a pretty big part in the first game as well, being one of the main focuses in one of the routes. And yes, this game has multiple routes, from what I can tell. And I don't mean routes as in visual novel routes or anything. They all... You have to experience them all, and they all add a little bit of the case's facts. How do you say this right? So every route gives you a little bit of information that will slowly piece together the case until you have the final route or the final part of the one of the routes, which then will put it all together. I'm not entirely sure if that's how this game is gonna work, but that's how it worked in the last game, where you had a bunch of different routes you could take, where one character had more focus. So for one there was Iris, for the other there was Misaki, for one there was Ota, that was the name of the otaku guy. For one there was Ota, and so on, and then they all would give you slightly more information about the case, and then after you've done every other route, you could do the final route, basically, or pick up at the final route and then solve the case. It's actually a really fun system, and I kind of wish that they did visual novels a little bit more like this as well, because then at least you have a reason to keep playing the visual novel beyond the first route.
I was introduced before the show started, and...
She was involved in the new Cyclops serial killings that happened last November. You read the reports.
Yeah, so I know enough about what happened. Mr. Date was also on that case.
Yeah, boy, he was. Oh, by the way, this case and the new Cyclone. Yeah, see you later, man. Thanks for showing up. Oh, by the way, this case and the new Cyclops serial killers are not related, though that is just a hunch. You don't need to worry about that. I feel like they're pressing that just a little bit too much, but maybe they're actually not related. Are you okay?
Does she look okay to you?
I'm just trying to be helpful, Misaki. Come on.
I already talked to the other detective. I want to go home already.
Do you know the victim?
Teleportation.
What?
What?
That body teleported here from a parallel world.
Okay, so she's insane.
But only half of his body was able to make it through. That's why he was split in half.
Jeez.
Mizuki just sounds so fucking done with it. Alright, let's go talk to... I don't want to talk to boss just yet. I feel like if we talk to boss, that's gonna end this whole event, and I want to talk to everybody. Moma. Moma actually played a role in the last game as well. He played bigger parts in different routes, so he isn't a main character. I'd say he's a secondary to tertiary character, but he still played its parts. His name.
His name is Moma Kumakura. He's a leader of the Kumakura gang, which is under the Ujisaki family.
I know. The Kumakuras are known for being peculiar, even among Yakuza. But why is their leader at a live-streamed quiz show?
Yeah, you would think they wouldn't want to get too much attention. Who's the man sitting next to you?
Oh, you mean Shinpei.
Shinpei?
Shinpei Wagai. That's his name. He was one of our members, until just recently.
Was?
Yeah, he went clean. Left the life completely.
Well, that's good to know. He did actually... This guy actually... They started dating a nurse in the first game, if I'm not mistaken. And there was a whole side story that, while we didn't actually get to see, it was nice to just hear about.
And where is he now?
Who knows? The moment he saw the corpse, he flew out of the room, white as a sheet. He's probably puking into a toilet somewhere. Anyway, it's real fucked up. Even people in my world wouldn't kill someone so gruesomely. That bastard. Scaring Tessa like this. Whoever did this better make sure the cops get to him before I do.
Yeah, Moma. Moma is actually a fan of Iris, because Iris is a live streamer that plays games, I'm pretty sure. And he's a fan of her. Tessa is Iris. Oh, they're explaining that now. Tessa is Iris's nickname. Iris is an internet idol who goes by ASET, but her biggest fans call her Tessa, meaning Moma is a big fan. Right, let's talk to... Oh, hey. It's the inspector. Ask his name.
I'm just an inspector. Why would you want to know my name?
Because it's part of the joke.
We're both going after the culprit together. I'd like to get to know you.
Wow, what an honor coming from someone from Abyss. My name is Kagami.
I see. Kagami. Got it.
It's Kagami. K-A-G-A-M-I. My name is Kagami.
The serial killer ends up being Kagami because he couldn't stand his name being forgotten constantly.
I told you, it's Kagami.
I already know his name, I don't need to ask again. How's the investigation on the body going?
Well...
What? You still haven't taken DNA samples?
Basically, get away from the corpse, you don't wanna...
Easier said than done. Most of the blood was drained from the body, so we have no choice but to take samples from the organs. Wait, hey, this is no place for a kid.
What do you mean?
I mean, you're right next to the body.
So?
So? Well, you could be traumatized for life seeing something like this.
I'm fine. I've seen worse.
Sadly, that's true. In the previous game, she did see worse.
Anyway, you're in the way.
Fine.
Well, there you have it.
So in other words, you don't have anything.
Jin Furue? Yes, of course I know about him. I actually follow him on Twitter.
Twitter?
He cuts through all the BS of the modern world. He's insightful, inspiring in a way.
Well, was. Now he isn't really nothing, except maybe joke about being split in two.
Is it true that body appeared out of nowhere? It's hard to believe, but...
Please, don't rush me. I'm doing the best I can.
Looks like he's just standing there to me.
Yeah.
Well, is it his job specifically to investigate, or isn't his job just to secure the vicinity?
It's all right now, because I am here! Half might, half for all! We are full-time heroes!
That seems in poor taste.
You okay, Mr. Ryuki? I feel like you aren't exactly sound of mind right now.
Ryuki can oftentimes get weird like this. He isn't doing well mentally. One of my jobs is to support him. Okay, so I'm just assuming that there's a reason why they have a mentally unstable person working murder cases then.
Huh. I already know all about you. No need to say it. Kurita Ryuki, 23 years old. Due to your excellent marks, you skipped a few grades at an elite private university and graduated at 21. Afterward, you went through training at Police Academy for 15 months and were accepted into Abyss last summer. It's incredibly rare for anyone to get into Abyss without having stepped foot on a crime scene. Don't tell me you slept your way in with Maz.
Holy shit, why?
Of course I didn't. I took the formal exam and boss acknowledged my abilities.
You mean your endurance?
Oh my fucking
You're
god,
a young guy.
really?
Yeah, boss definitely seems more into the marathons than the sprints.
What are you talking about?
This guy is fucking creepy.
Well, Ryuki, when a man and a woman love each other very much...
You don't have to explain it. I get it.
We work in the same building and you don't know my name. Can't blame you though. You're new.
In all fairness, I've lived in my apartment for a good 6-ish years now, and I don't know the name of my next door neighbor, so... You know, in modern society, it's kind of normal not to know people unless you're friends with them, or at least acquaintances, right? At least that's how it's been for me. I am not the most social person, though. I don't actively look to befriend my neighbors, for example. I just, as long as they're quiet and don't bother me, I do not ever have to see them. And I could imagine that in a police station, I think they're called stations, in a police station, there would work, what, hundreds of people? You're not gonna know everybody.
Metro PD, major crimes. Name's Ushidera.
Weirdo.
Unfortunately, nothing yet. HQ still hasn't gotten any reports about the half-body being found. Hell, maybe it's never going to be found. What if that body crossed over time and space to get here? It's possible, right?
Are we actually gonna have time travel shenanigans? That would maybe make a little bit of sense with some of the investigation taking place in the past and some in the future, but I'm not sure. Well, they did dabble a little bit in different universes or different possibilities, and Date, the main character from the last game, remembering some stuff from each. It wasn't really a big deal or anything like that. It did play a part in the finale, but I'm not sure if they would jump so far as to go to time travel. That would be a pretty big jump, I'd say.
No?
Maybe I'm wrong, though. Alright, boss! Why am I not moving? There we go. Why are you here?
Hey, what's going on with you? Memory problems? Brain disorder or something? You look like you're losing it a little.
No, it's nothing.
Boss was invited here by Ma, a host from Kabuki show.
Alright. Ma's someone that also played a part in the first game. She's... yeah, she is... I don't... You know that stereotype of a man... So, there's this stereotype in some anime where a man will run a bar but will be dressed like a woman and people will call her mama or ma or anything that has a... like, means mother, basically. And Ma is one of those stereotypes. She's actually a really fun character in my opinion. In the English version they actually did make her... what is it called again? Fuck, I don't know, like an LQB, you know, like a person that is like...
Ma
like
told her, let's go on this online show together. It looks so fun.
They actually made her a... fuck, I don't remember. I don't think... I don't know the exact name, but someone that like thinks like wants to be a woman, but I'm not sure thinks like feels like a woman. I'm not really sure about the details, but they did actually make her like something like that, which actually got a little bit of a backlash, I'm pretty sure, because a response you could get from Misaki when first encountering Ma was a little bit let's just say it felt a bit unnatural how she said it. And some people had a backlash about that. Personally, I don't really care because Ma is actually a pretty good character in my opinion, and she is fun to like see interact with characters, so that's basically the most important thing with a character. But yeah, a bit of interesting story behind a character that is at best a tertiary character from AI, right? Not really sure where the stereotype came from from Japan though, because it's also in Persona 5, if I'm not mistaken, where you have a bar where people dress up like women, or men dress up like women. Maybe it has something to do with a piece of literary work, or maybe a TV show.
But immediately after she showed up, she was sent a Nile message that read, "Sorry, something came up."
That's gonna have something to do with Date. This is gonna come back later.
So in other words, he flaked on her.
Boss tried to go home, but the show's staff stopped her and begged her to find a replacement.
So she called up her obedient underling, huh? How convenient.
Yeah, you remember now?
Remember? You never told me anything about this Ma guy.
Ah, so Tama told you. After I asked her not to.
Who's in charge of this case?
Well, there's no one else available, so would you mind taking care of it?
What? Me?
I know this case could get dangerous. It might be too hot to assign to a rookie. But then again, you have a reliable partner with you.
I'll give you hands-on assistance for this investigation.
Right, about the body.
It's Jin Furue, no doubt about it. He was like an advisor who represented the young talent. I saw him a lot on the news online. This is so strange. Why just his right half?
Oh, I feel like that's gonna be the cinch of this case, isn't it? Alright, unless there's someone I haven't seen yet. Oh wait, I haven't talked to this weird cube guy. Totally forgot about him, which is kinda kinda weird because he seems to be someone you won't just forget.
I think he introduced himself to me before the show started. His name was Andes Kameji, I think.
That's his stage name, of course. His real name is Yoneharu Enda.
Wonder how a person gets a head like that. I do know that in Japan either Japan or China, they grow melons, for example, in a square case, and that causes them to become square melons. So maybe when he was a baby, his parents put his head into a square case, and then when he grew up, it became all square-like.
He's a comedian.
I'd never heard of him before. He must not be very good.
Oh, and I suppose you can do better, asshole.
Guess Tama's a fan.
What do you know about comedians? Listen, comedians are all doing their best so they can bring people joy.
That's true.
And here you are, just...
Okay, I'm sorry.
I've known Tama for more than half a year now, but I still have a hard time understanding what sets her off. I had no idea what that was a sensitive subject. Maybe she's a fan.
Are you still out of it, Mr. Ryuki?
God, you're terrifying.
This is Studio Devaita in Minato Roppongi. It's a rental studio, mostly used for live streaming, filming, that kind of thing. Did you really not understand what you were getting into when you agreed to this?
We arrived here right as the stream was about to begin. They made us sit in the contestant seat right away without telling us anything.
Well, the title of our show is right there.
Faith to Face, our special 6-hour live stream marathon, brought to you by Amabi TV.
We cut the stream, of course, but the cameras should have been running when that body appeared.
Amabi TV is a live streaming internet service for PC and smartphone. The quiz show Face to Face is one of the shows. It's a mildly popular show with everyday people as contestants. Okay, but what is it about? The whole face-to-face thing doesn't really tell me what it's specifically about.
I'm sure all of Japan, or even the world, tuning in on the internet is in shock right now.
Where's the staff of the show?
They're being questioned by the police in the waiting room. Mr. Ryuki, aren't you with the police too?
Well, yes.
Abyss is a high-level investigation police agency. They don't get along well with regular police, yes, officers, and often have a hard time getting them to share information. Alright, that should be everybody. Anybody green? No. Oh. Do you still have something to say? Nope. Alright.
Fray to free?
Fray can mean battle, tatter, ravel, or strain. Free is self-explanatory.
To set free or release.
So the phrase could mean something like fight to set free.
Would be a little bit of an obtuse way to say it. Maybe in Japanese it makes more sense. Might be a pun.
What's with that QR code?
The thing is, there seems to be an error in the Abyss communication system. We're having issues getting online.
Okay, so what do people see?
What? Come on.
What? You got a problem with that?
No, not at all.
A fight for freedom, huh? Maybe this guy, the victim, was lying about something and the killer showed him as an example.
The estimated time of death was about 40 hours ago.
Wait. Hold up a second. How the hell does that work? How is this piece of the body... How has this piece of the body died before the other piece? That's been found 6 years ago.
Today is February 10th. Current time 2200. Which means he died around 6 o'clock February 9th.
Yesterday morning.
There's hardly any blood left in his body. His body must have been left with his legs slightly raised and the cut side facing the ground. Blood naturally flowed out as a result, leaving the cut surprisingly clean and visible. The cut appears to have been made by something far thinner than paper.
Thinner than paper?
For example, something with zero thickness, like a 2D surface.
There's no such...
What's more is that it doesn't seem like the connections between molecules were severed. The structure of the molecules themselves have been cut.
So this is going to be a little hard to understand. So feel free to skip this if you'd like. Among scientific bonds, there is the intramolecular bond, which uses electrons to bond, yeah, and the intermolecular bond, which is bonding of molecules themselves, yeah. Intramolecular bonds are stronger than intermolecular bonds, yes. So when something is cut in half, it is usually the intermolecular bonds that is severed. However, Jin Furia's body was severed at a intramolecular bond level. That's it for the science part. Please continue to enjoy the main story. So that means that whatever severed the victim would have had to have specialized machinery to do it, or something special that would sever the whatever bonds over the bonds that usually get severed. I'm not really sure if we in real life have anything that can do that. It wasn't a laser or water though. What in the world happened yesterday at 6? Who the fuck knows? No. Let's see, anything else? Do we have anything else we can interact with? Not seeing anything else. Oh, we haven't interacted with the podium yet. Anything I'm missing? Oh, there we go. Corpse's face. There we go. See, sometimes you just have to...
The identity of the deceased has been confirmed through facial
keep
recognition.
clicking to figure something out.
Jin Furway, 29 years old. The CEO of Music Food Co. Ltd. He's also an executive at several IT firms, consultation companies, investment firms, and advertising agencies. His columns and essays are featured in various magazines and online media. He's quite a successful author.
Interesting.
By the way, Ryuki, there's something about the corpse's head that's been bothering me. It's hard to see from here, so here's the image I took earlier.
What's this?
Oh, there's a hole behind his head. Interesting.
It's an enlarged picture of Jin's temporal region, near the back of his head. It's hard to see because of the hair in the way, but there are signs of traumatic subcutaneous hematoma. In other words, there's bruising.
Someone hit him from behind?
Probably, but I don't think this is a fatal wound. There's no damage to the skull or brain itself. And as you can clearly see, his cause of death was being split in half. There are no other visible wounds besides the head trauma. He must have been cut in two while he was alive.
That concurs with what we saw in the future. There's straight. Alright, let's see if we can x-ray this sucker.
Wait.
What is it?
Maybe something has been put into his head.
This might not be related to the case, but I just thought of something. Ryuki, would you mind moving closer to the body?
He's missing one of his back teeth.
I would never have noticed that.
Yes, the first molar of his upper jaw was completely removed from its root. Judging by the impression left in the gums, it looks like it was removed just recently. Ryuki, I've got a connection. The QR code link. It leads to a ViewCube page.
ViewCube? You mean...
Yes, the video streaming site.
Whose account does the channel belong to?
No idea. It was registered using an alias.
Okay.
What?
I'm sorry. Can you please open it?
That's better.
Okay then. This seems like one of those subliminal, like those horror videos on YouTube. I don't know what they are called, you know, where a creator tries to be all creepy and scary. I know they have a specific name for them, but for the life of me I can't remember it. You know, like Angel Engine or anything a little bit more known. The backrooms from Kane Pixels, for example. Even though I do think Angel Engine fits a little bit better with what we're seeing here. Even has the grainy feel of a recorder of 1990.
What's wrong, Ryuki?
What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? This... Oh! I kinda wish I... Yeah, no, I gathered. I kinda wish I could translate what I'm assuming is Chinese. Holy shit. Yeah, I ain't fucking bothering with translating that shit, man.
Hey.
Well, you know that you are creepy when the AI is traumatized.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Yeah. Okay. Fuck. Just the way he's looking. Like, that's what got me. Just the way he's looking. I might be putting it on a little bit, but he looks like he's barely holding himself together.
Don't worry about me.
Why do people ask that? Are you okay? Nope. Well, interesting beginning at least. Did that fucking blow up? Well, at least we were able to investigate a little bit. Does that mean that whoever killed this guy wanted us to be able to investigate? Because why else not just rig the body to explode after it was seen on television, right? Team Zero Escape presents. Yeah, see, this is made by the people that made Zero Escape. Ando. Okay, they're new. Don't know who the fuck that is. I do know who she is. She's the mermaid. That guy, don't know who that is. I don't think they had an intro movie in the first games. This is kinda neat. Walkman. What the fuck is that? Okay, a masked guy. A lot of masked people. Oh hey, that's Oda. Oh hey! I thought he was in prison. Oh, Momo. Oh shit, so Momo and the other guy are gonna play a part. That's cool. I do like Momo. Wonder if we're gonna see more into Misaki's whole mindset as well. I really like Misaki's route in the first game. That was my favorite route. Wonder if the chief dies. I don't think so. Well, maybe in one of the routes she'll die. Would make for a good plot character development. Maybe.
Oh, it's Brahmin.
Brahmin. Alright, well, I do think that this is a good place to call it quits. We've been at it for, I'm assuming, at least an hour or two. So, I hope you enjoyed. As you can see, this is mostly gonna be me going through the story from what I'm seeing. There will be puzzle parts as well that we will more than likely spend a while on too. But this is what we're in for, and I'm actually really loving this so far. So, I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you later, whenever I feel like playing some more AI, the Somnium File NirvanA Initiative.